Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. We are going to test out the newest Hourglass face palette, and this is the Swan palette. I only purchased the Swan palette. I'm going to do swatches for you guys, apply it on my face. We're also going to do a quick eye tutorial using the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Garden of Stars palette. So if you're ready, let's begin. Let's begin the demo of the Swan palette from Hourglass. This is the only one that I have purchased so far. This is a hefty price. So I wanted to get something with variety and something that would work with my skin tone. So I'm going to just demo everything on my face and I'll go over the shades too. It comes beautifully packed. And I felt like I didn't want to customize mine because I felt like Swan was the prettiest according to me. I really love this packaging, and let me show you the inside. Look at this. I feel like it's definitely giving us variety. So pretty. So let's start off. The first shade is Dim Light, and Dim Light is the finishing powder that we have, and I feel like this definitely would work as like a brightening shade for my skin tone, but also it's because it's so translucent and so thinly packed. I don't think it will cause any harm even if you are a little lighter than me. So there you go. That's Dim Light. Hopefully you can see those. It's very light, very ethereal. The second shade is definitely the highlighter here, and this is in the shade Golden Hour, and that also, it seems like it will definitely work beautifully on my skin tone. So let's swatch that. There you go. These are all like one swipe swatches. Definitely like a champagne-y golden shade. Very pretty. Very pretty. Now the third shade is the bronzer. This one, and the bronzer is in the shade Natural Bronze, this one, and this is something that doesn't have any like marbling effect to it. I felt like I was wishing that it is not marbly, just because I feel like, and it might be a little light on me, as you can see, like it's definitely much lighter than the one that I have from the Snake palette, and I'll definitely swatch this too. And let me just give you a comparison. There you go. And the Snake one is definitely more deeper. Okay. And then we have the three beautiful blushes, and I felt like this palette definitely has the variety of blush that we are looking for. So let's start off here. This is Luminous Coral, Sunset Flush, and Mauve Fusion. So let's swatch all three and see. I was just scared if I am gonna get a lot of like glow from this. The center shade is definitely glowy. It has that NARS orgasm kind of effect to it. So these are all like two swipe swatches. That's the coral one, that's the peach one, and that's the mauve one. I feel like this palette will definitely work for me. I'm only worried about the bronzer now, which we'll see. Oh, did I swatched the coral blush right on the bronzer because I didn't even see it. So I'm just gonna swatch the bronzer on top just so that you see it. Okay, so the bronzer, you can't even see it. That is so crazy. Bronzer, finishing powder, highlighter, three blushes. We'll see how this rolls. Let's start off with the bronzer, and this might be a little tricky for sure. I'm not lying. If it's gonna show up. Okay, it's showing up for sure. It's definitely showing up. And Hourglass powders, it definitely appears a little bit more darker on the skin as compared to in the pan or in the swatch. So yeah, that's definitely working for me. I'm glad. This was the only doubt that I was having. I really wish they would do someday to customize the shadow inside it, because I was debating whether I need to try the Fox palette or the Swan palette. I loved one shade, the Canyon Heat shade in the Fox palette. That is what was drawing towards me in that palette, but I also felt like Fox palette might be close to the Snake palette that I own. So I was like, the good bet would be to just get the Swan palette. And maybe someday I'll get a palette with Canyon Heat in it, because it was also like a terracotta-y shade with no shimmer in it. If you know, my ideal palette would have been something like a Canyon Heat in the middle. That would have been just amazing, amazing. Okay, let's move on to the blush situation. And for the blush, I really want to try this one, Mauve Fusion. I was like just waiting for this to come into my collection, because it feels like something that Hourglass has never done before. And you know how much I love mauves. Yeah, just went with one layer and you can see the pigment. Pretty. That is so pretty. Can you see that? For like a winter shade, this is a perfect winter shade. It actually reminds me of Ravi Beauty's the last magenta-y shade. It definitely reminds me of that. Okay. For the highlighter, let's dip into this beautiful highlighter. Can't wait to see how it appears. Oh, definitely is blinding. Very, very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, now I'm going to dip into that finishing powder at the end, the dim light shade. And I'm going to just melt everything together. Yeah, that's like a filter in a pan. Like, I love that. That works beautifully. I don't think you can see it, but I can definitely see like a blurring effect happening, which is beautiful. Okay, so that's the face so far. I'm gonna quickly finish my eye makeup too. I'm just gonna run over it, taking my timeless tones and dipping into sophisticated. Dipping into Vogue and just blending the edges. Taking a little bit of Suave, this blue. Just right there on the outer corners. Taking Elegant. For the shimmers, dipping into Garden of Stars from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and see what we're gonna try. I'm gonna do Elusive, this one. It's like a cool tone pinky blue. Taking it on a brush. It's so ethereal. So ethereal. This is the first time I'm using this palette, by the way. For the inner corner, I am gonna dip into this Alloy shade, this one. This silvery, pearly white, just right there. It has a hint of blue, so that's perfect. And then I'm gonna just dip a little bit into this Haunting shade, this one. And I'm taking that on my fingers and just dipping into the middle of that blue and that pinky shimmer that we had, just to tie in the look together. That's so pretty. Okay, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll come right back to show you my final look. And there you go, that's my final look. I really love the way how the face as well as eye turned out. I really love it. I feel like Swan palette is definitely, I stand by it. I feel like for a medium tan skin tone, I feel like this palette is beautiful. I can definitely see myself traveling with this palette. The way its swatches doesn't justify the way it applies on the skin, because I feel like on the skin it looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You will see me use this palette even more throughout the days. So stay tuned for that to see me use the rest of the blushes too on my face. I really, really love it. Let me also do a quick comparison with the Snake palette. And for the powder and the highlighter, let me do the bronzer too. So powder, highlighter, and the bronzer. Yeah, I would say the bronzer in the Snake palette is definitely more warm as compared to the Swan palette. The finishing powder is pretty much the same. The highlighter, it's a tad bit more deeper here. I would say it's more like copperier as compared to the golden champagne tone in the Swan palette. Now let's move on to the blushes, because we do have 3 blushes here too. And I'm gonna do all 3 swatched in the best possible way, but I don't think it's matching. Maybe the coral one. So those were the Snake palette. The coral ones are matching. This is definitely more glowy and more terracotta-y orange, and then this is a little bit more lighter pink, I would say, like a more lighter neutral pink. So that is the comparison of the Snake palette versus the Swan palette. Right now I'm rushing for office, so that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.